Welcome back. We're keeping our focus on the war in West Asia, and there are few things certain in life. Death, taxes, and Donald Trump contradicting himself. So on one hand, we have Donald Trump saying that the war is going to end very soon, and then we get the reports of possible additional troop deployment in the Middle East as well. Now, in the latest remarks, Donald Trump has said that he believes that the conflict is close to being over and suggested that the other side is keen on making a deal. While these comments point to a potential de-escalation in the coming days, the situation on the ground is completely complex. The United States is also set to deploy additional 10,000 troops to the Middle East, boosting the presence there in the region amid the rising tensions with Iran. With nearly 50,000 U.S. personnel already stationed in the region, this fresh deployment is expected to further strengthen the ongoing operation and tighten the grip around Iran. So in the latest, we're learning that Donald Trump has said that the war with Iran is going to get over in the coming days. But on the other hand, he's also deployed 10,000 more personnel to the Middle East. We have a breaking update coming in, a reaction that is coming from Iranian president. He has launched a scathing attack on the United States and Israel, branding the leaders as terrorists. In the statement, he accused them of violence without any restraint, saying that they slaughter anyone, anywhere, whenever they want, and then they go on to speak about human rights. So that is, in fact, the statement that is coming from Iranian president. He has launched a scathing attack on the United States and Israel, branding them, their leaders, as the terrorists, and he has accused them of violence without any restraint, saying that they slaughter anyone, anywhere, and whenever they want. Let me take you through more details as to what Iranian president has in fact stated in the scathing attack that he has launched on both the countries. He said that they call us terrorists, but they are the real terrorists, is what he has stated in the statement. Let's tell you more about what he has gone on to say, that they slaughter anyone, anywhere, whenever they want. That's a statement that is coming at a time when the war is going on. Of course, the counter-attack and the counter-attacks have stopped, but the Iranian president has said that they speak about human rights, shame on them. So that's a reaction that has come in. We have another breaking update coming in. The US and Iran are considering a 2-week ceasefire extension to allow more time to negotiate a peace deal. But amid that, we're learning that press secretary has said that US has not formally requested a ceasefire extension with Iran, describing talks as productive and ongoing, and also insisting that President Donald Trump has made, there are certain red lines that he has made quite clear. So at a time when, in fact, there were reports just a few hours back that both the sides are considering a 2-week extension to the ceasefire. Remember, the deadline is on April 22nd, and before that, the back-channel talks are underway, and there is, in fact, a delegation from Pakistan, which is in Iran right now, trying to convince the Iranian side to come to the table and hold the second round of talks. But we're learning that press secretary has said that US has not formally requested a ceasefire extension with Iran, describing talks, on the other hand, as quite productive. Listen to what she said.
Reporting, again, bad reporting this morning that we had formally requested an extension of the ceasefire. That is not true at this moment. We remain very much engaged in these negotiations, in these talks. You heard from the Vice President directly and the President this week that these conversations are productive and ongoing, and that's where we are right now. I've also seen some reporting about the potentiality for in-person discussions again. Those discussions are being had, but nothing is official until you hear it from us here at the White House. But we feel good about the prospects of a deal. The President mentioned that in his interview yesterday, and it's obviously in the best interest of Iran to meet the President's demands. I think he's made his red lines in these negotiations very clear to the other side, and so we are continuing to see how these conversations go.
Let me get you more perspective and go back to my guest, Purnima Nath, politician based in USA. Ma'am, on one hand, Donald Trump has said that the war is over. On the other, he has deployed 10,000 more troops to the region. This is happening just ahead of the second round of talks with Iran. Is this, according to you, a pressure tactic?
Thank you so much for having me. Nice to be back over here. Unfortunately, what's happening over here is United States has been exposed at this point of time. We stand naked in front of the world that we have shown our threats, basically. Unfortunately, America or President Trump is calling it as a negotiation. I call it as a coercive tactic and almost like a mafia tactics, a bullying tactics. This is not a negotiation. There is no compromise over here. This is basically a coercion, and it doesn't matter what the White House or President Trump labels it around. Unfortunately, credibility of United States is harshly hit at this point of time. Nobody trusts United States. Listen, I get it that the global diplomacy doesn't follow the trust factor. It factors the geopolitical interest, the power quotient. I understand that, but at the same time, you will find a more open to discuss and negotiate when two partners from no matter where they come from, if they're warm and respectable and they respect each other. In this particular case, it is quite clear that United States does not respect Iran, and Iran lost the trust on United States, and twice in the past year, when Iran has come to the table, you have bombed them, and now you are asking them to come to the table again. How can this be a equal situation? You have sanctioned them, you have hit their currency, whether it's medicine or not. The normal people of the Iranian people are being hit, and United States doesn't care. And at this point of time, unfortunately, we are hit, and we stand naked in front of the world that we don't care anybody. We don't care for anybody except for our profit and dominance. And
absolutely,
this is
so it remains to be seen whether in the coming days there will be second round of talks, negotiations between the two countries, and how it pans out. Thanks so much for connecting with us and bringing that perspective.